Somewhere around 73% of people who do service with you will buy their next car from you.
Right.
We have to think of it that way. This isn't I'm selling a car today. It's I'm selling a car today. I need to get them in service so that I can sell them another car. When you have a really great relationship, if there's great transparency, you're creating a great environment, a great experience, customers will come back. But what I love is when they come back, they don't come back by themselves.
Welcome to Retention Roadmap, navigating service success for new car dealerships. I'm your host, Bill Springer. Today's podcast is sponsored by DriveSure. DriveSure helps new car dealerships remain the go-to provider for maintenance, tires, and repairs. For information on how DriveSure can help your dealership, go to drivesure.com/dealership solutions. Today, I'm really excited to welcome Patty Tremonti, CEO of MTN Automotive Training Systems, and a true expert in dealership training and service retention. Patty brings years of experience in helping dealerships bridge the gap between sales and service, most notably through her first service appointment system that connects customers to the service department right after a vehicle sale. She also works with dealers to implement tools like video inspections and prepaid maintenance programs that help build trust, add convenience, and keep customers coming back. Today, we'll dive into strategies to make sure first-time customers become long-term service clients, as well as some other topics as well. So let's jump right in. Patty, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Bill, for having me on today. Really excited to talk about fixed ops for service appointments, retention, all of those things that are so vital to the legacy of the dealerships.
I am as well, and we've been waiting a long time to have you on. So I've been looking forward to this. So let's start right out with first service appointments. I know that this is a topic that has been long discussed as being really critically important to improving customer retentions. So can you explain, why that first service appointment is so critical, and kind of where do you see most dealerships dropping the ball when it comes to setting and securing that first service appointment?
Sure, absolutely. Well, the first service appointment is critical. And it's so important that I feel like it is an everybody opportunity in the dealership. It's not just one person or one department. It should be everybody's focus. And really, when you capture the customer on that first service, really you have the opportunity to introduce them to your service department, to the systems that you have there that really support them to help them really keep their car in the best opportunity, the best view of their car. And so I think if we don't capture them the first, it's historically, you can see with the metrics, people will leave. They won't come back. And, I think that it changes all the time, but I think somewhere around 73% of people who do service with you will buy their next car from you. And I
Right.
think we have to think of it that way. This isn't I'm selling a car today. It's I'm selling a car today. I need to get them in service so that I can sell them another car. So I think where a lot of people drop it is they have apprehension or trepidation about actually setting it at the time of sale, which is the best opportunity that you have to set it, to really welcome the customer. They're there with you in the dealership. So
Hmm.
take them over, introduce them, let them know that this is where the magic happened, that your service department is very much a part of the sales team, that they're not in competition, that you're a fan of your service department. Here's where you're going to pull in. Here's the experience that you're going to have. So I think it's critical at the time of sale that you set it. And, I said people have a little apprehension like, well, if we set it and then they don't show up, then we've taken that spot in the daily calendar or schedule. And I think that's just where a part of your first service is having a process. You can't just
Right.
say, we're going to set first service. You have to have an actual process. What does it mean? What are the steps? Who's involved in actually setting the first service? And then who is responsible for making sure that they show? And then who's responsible when they show to have a great experience? That way it perpetuates the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth visit. So I think that's a lot of things, but you hear we don't want to not have room for them, or they've taken the spot where somebody who would have come in. That's where in your process you need to have, whether it's your service BDC, you have a dedicated person, somebody that's confirming those, but doing it in a way that's celebrating, like, we cannot wait to see you, right?
Hmm. Right.
You've just bought this car. We're so excited to see and hear how you like it. Come on in. We want to take great care of you. So I think that the failure happens at the beginning, but I think that that's the best opportunity. And so when you're selling a car, it's not just again selling that car, it's selling future cars. And part of that is the first service appointment and the actual service department. So I think that you just make sure that there's a process, that it's not only that you have one, but that there's accountability built in. How are you
Yeah,
going to measure that? How are you going to know that that happens? And who is responsible for those? And to really set that first service appointment, Mr. Bill, it doesn't take much time.
right.
And the enthusiasm in which you set it, the excitement about it also lends to them coming in, because if you're excited about that for them, they're going to want to come in and see what it's all about, experience what makes you so excited to have them come do service in your service department. So, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Patty, from your experience, what do you see as kind of what stands out to you between a dealership that does an exceptional job in terms of setting that first service appointment versus one that just does an average job?
I think it's the point of engagement, people being engaged and actually setting it. I know some dealerships, when they're going through maybe getting their contract work done, it's just automatically set for the customer,
Okay.
and maybe the customer doesn't know it was set, right? It's just set it. And they don't have an idea that they actually have a first service appointment set, but we were able to check a box, set it, but the customer has no idea. So I think it's that human interaction that really makes it a successful process, is when the salesperson is engaged with them and let me help you do that. Let me show you where you're going to go to the website, not only to set this one, but to set future service appointments. Let me show you how easy it is. Really showing somebody how easy it is to do business with your company is
Right.
always a bonus, but it really takes that human interaction, because you also want to answer any questions, or even to have the opportunity to show it to them, to walk them over, and tell them exactly where they're going to pull up. There's a little bit of mystery if they haven't done business with you before. Like, I'm not sure where to come if I come here. So, relieving all of that, I think, just gives people the peace to come back. But I think when you just automatically set it, you don't follow through. There's no relationship in that conversation. It's just not as successful.
Yeah. Can you do you have a benchmark in terms of for every, 100 new vehicles sold, what's a good benchmark for how many of those have that first service appointment set? We'd like it to be 100%, but
We
that's
would
not
love for it
realistic,
to be.
right?
Yes. I think that varies a little bit, Mr. Bill, and it varies by maybe where your dealership is and the range of people that come in. Some people may sell cars, but the person lives 100 miles away. So you want to be smart when you're figuring that out. But I would say at minimum, even if you have a lot of people that live out of state or in a distance, you'd want to give yourself a shot, right? So I think you take the shot every single time.
Sure.
You take the shot at setting the first service appointment, hoping to do it. And then once you've heard maybe what they're, and I hate to call it an objection, it's just them clarifying, like, well, I live 100 miles away. But I'd love to come back. So I think you just say, if they live within 25 miles, that it should be every time. So what is that, 85% for your dealership? Is that 90% for your dealership? What is that? And I say miles. You want to make sure that maybe I say this, less than an hour of drive time, because I know sometimes it's timer. Yeah, but I think you try with every customer
Yeah. Yep,
and
for sure.
let them direct you in a different path. And so I I, I would say, when we're working with clients, we aim for no less than 85%.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, we were speaking before we hit record, and
Mhm.
the our statistics show that 57% of new car
Mm.
buyers come in for that first service appointment. And when you look at the retention graph of vehicles by age, that first year is a pretty steep drop off, and then obviously as that vehicle gets older and older, it drops off even more. But boy, it's just so critically important to maximize your likelihood of getting that customer back for that first service appointment, because if you don't get them in for that first service appointment, it's likely you're not going to see them again.
And Mr. Mel, one thing too that I believe in is, if we sell pre-owned cars, we should also want to take care of them. So when I'm saying 85%, it's not just off of new cars, it's off of every car sold, 85%. And I
Hmm.
know that you're measured differently on retention, through OEMs, but really for you at a dealership level, wouldn't you want everybody you can to come back and do business with you, keep them like in your actual pool, your actual source of influence, whether they bought a new or used car. So when I'm
Sure.
saying 85%, it's both new and used.
Gotcha. Okay. Super. Wonder if you have any thoughts, Patty, on setting service appointments for customers who are coming in for scheduled maintenance service. And let's say that the dealership wants to see their customers on average every 6 months or twice a year. What are your thoughts, if any, on on dealerships setting that next service appointment before the customer leaves after their current service appointment?
I think it's brilliant. We do it with every other aspect of our lives. You never leave the dentist without knowing when you're going to come back in 6 months, right?
Right. Right.
And so it's just one of those things that customers are used to. But I think, in the automotive industry, we've had a hesitation like, well, it won't work here. Well, it's the same people that are going to the dentist are the same people that are coming in here to do service. They're used to that. So I think it's every time you should do that. And you do it as that it's a service to them,
Right.
not
Yeah.
like this is what's beneficial for us. Here's your next appointment. And, be cautious with your words. Maybe if you think that the appointment is too assumptive, I like the word track of, hey, Mr. Bill, just to let you know, now I have you on our radar for about 6 months from here. It's on your sheet. Now, closer to time, we're going to call and confirm to make sure that that time works best for you. But I just want to let you know, as a VIP, we've got some time already set aside for you for that next service appointment. And I look forward to serving you then.
Yeah. I think
And
that's perfect. Yeah.
so we've got it. It's on our radar. You're important. We've got time saved, but we're going to call and confirm
Right.
as well. So
Yep.
I think every time, and it helps you too to know how to, as those appointments are being confirmed along the way, it helps you know too when you as a dealer need to start staffing more because you are growing, because you're retaining more people. You can see that. So, do you need more technicians to serve um, the workload, or do you need another service advisor, or what would that look like?
Right. We see more and more dealers who are taking that approach, of dealers who are struggling with service department capacity, and telling customers, "Hey, Patty, thanks for coming in today. I know you like to bring your car in on Fridays because that's your day off. Can we get you scheduled for, such and such a date 6 months from now?" And because if you were to call up, today and ask for a service appointment, it might not be a week or even 2 weeks or in some cases longer before we get you in.
Mhm.
So it's really doing the customer a favor by scheduling it up front at a time that hopefully is most convenient for them. And we know that, in terms of looking at some of the surveys that we've done on our service retention surveys, that that's something that really popped up over the last couple of years as being a defection point for customers, where they've said, "Hey, if I can't get in and get an appointment within a reasonable period of time," and reasonable is different for all people, I'm more likely to go somewhere else, even if I love my dealership. So that ability to get in and get a service appointment really is kind of a newer point of defection that is obviously more of an issue for some dealers than others, but it's something that's come up on our radar relatively recently.
No, I like that too. And there's a sense of peace. Like if I leave today knowing that I've already got that set, there's going to be reminders, you're going to confirm it with me, then I'm not worrying about it or having to remind myself, like, oh, you better set that, because I'm going to get down to the wire and then I will be frustrated. So I think it's removing some frustration from the customer, but also giving them peace. They're just attached to you then, and they know that that's where they're going to go. And so they don't think about it or worry about it anymore.
Yep. So I want to shift gears here and talk a bit about prepaid maintenance.
Yes.
Your company is in the midst of launching a subscription-based prepaid maintenance product, and so tell us a little bit about how that model differs from traditional prepaid plans that are particularly those sold in a drive, and what are you seeing in the marketplace that caused you to launch a subscription-based program?
Sure. Thank you. We're so excited. We just went ahead and launched it to the open market this year. We've done a couple of years proof of concept beta testing, so it's live now. It's called Cardio, so CAR capital DIO, Cardio Auto, and it is a monthly subscription maintenance plan app. So we created an app for people in order to keep track of their maintenance along the way in those plans. And what I love about it is this: the reason we created is, in a lot of maintenance plans, traditional maintenance plans that you can sell, um, it's they're kind of a one size fits all, but one size doesn't fit all. And so we wanted plans that really cater to our clientele. And so we went in and created it. Plus, we also know this. Um, there a lot of those people coming in that have the opportunity to buy are on the service lane, but it's really hard, Mr. Bill, to sell a maintenance plan in full on the lane because of the price, right? So you're coming in and you buy the plan, it's going to be, what is that, a six, seven, eight, $900 check, and that's kind
Could
of
be.
hard to
Yeah.
sell
Yeah.
because most of them are sold at the time of the car purchase, right? It's kind of rolled into the actual monthly payment. Well, that really hinders how many you can sell, how many opportunities that you have. And even when you're doing that, sometimes the market, there's just not even room inside of the car deal for that. So we were looking at it, how can we better serve our customers? Well, let's meet them where they're at. Let's create an app that is a monthly subscription. And so our team goes through, we help dealers create benefit plans that are custom to their dealership. So I love that. This isn't just a generic plan that you put in here. What do you want in your plans, Mr. Bill? What is something unique that you do for your customers that maybe you want to create different levels of memberships, that maybe some get valet because of the amount of their monthly payment, or some pay a small amount for the valet? What do you want to include in it? And what do you want those intervals to be? So you get to choose all of that. We help you pick the monthly price. And really, what we found is it helps with that retention. Again, it's a monthly subscription that people are attached to. It's on their phone. It's really fun. You get to put your car in the garage. You can see your car right there. You get celebrated for taking care of your car when you have those oil changes done, and all sorts of anything else that you have inside of your plan. You get little celebrations along the way. But it is something that really, what we have seen has been wildly successful. And plus, for customers, it's about saving time and money and
Hmm.
about belonging. People, again, like to belong to something, they like a club. So we help dealers find that perfect thing that really draws customers to them. All the while, cardio is in the background, supporting them on whatever journey they're on, with some marketing messages that are going out, really helping them transition, if they haven't chosen a plan yet, how to get on
Hmm.
it. But what we see is when somebody comes into your drive and you're able to offer them to join your club today for a monthly subscription price and get their oil change, and really that maintenance plan started, the retention has gone up. Again, it's that I know what I've got happening every month. I'm able to budget it, right? Because I know how much it's going to be. And then I know when I come into the next time that service is covered, perhaps as a member, I get an extra 10 or 15% off any additional services recommended. So it's been just a tremendous response to it. Customers love it. It's that peace of mind. And of course, it's an app on their phone that's been branded, once you open it, to the dealership. And so it's driving customers back to the dealer, not necessarily that brand, but to the actual dealer. So it helps with the retention of that dealership's customers internally. And so we love that. It's a great way to grow just the consistency and the growth of your RO count and your retention numbers. So yeah, it's cardiacauto.com.
Cool. Um, I also want to talk a little bit about video inspections because I know in your training that you do with dealerships, video has become a really important part of the inspection process and creating more glue between the dealership and the vehicle owner. So, tell us about what you've seen with video and how that has changed particularly the metrics around customer retention for dealerships that you work with?
Absolutely. The video, a lot of OEMs now are really making that maybe like a priority coming into even 2025. A lot already have it, but really what we see is the video inside of the technician inspection process really helps with that building that trust and that transparency. And I can't say enough about the importance of it. And at MTN, we have a specific pathway that we teach and that we coach on. And so that, here's what I see. The evolution is this. We started in 2018 at our dealerships with a video inspection. And sometimes you get that inspection tool and you're like, yay, the silver bullet, right? Technology is going
Right.
to take care of all my problems. And what we realize is sometimes technology can cause more issues than what you
Yeah.
hope for. And, you tell people to go do a good inspection. And technicians are great, wonderful, smart people. But we tell them to do a good video that's open to interpretation. And so we teach that you have to have a consistent video, a consistent pathway, because that's what customers want. And you have to remember the video is for the customer and not for the actual dealership. So when you're creating that, when you're utilizing a tool, you have to remember who is this for and why am I doing it? So the just being able to see that has raised people's I would say this, it has using a video process inside of your service department really lends to you being more respected because it has that transparency. You're not afraid to show exactly what you're looking at, what you're telling the customer. And customers really, seeing is believing, but they can actually understand it. When they see a dirty cabin air filter, it's really hard to say, you know what, go ahead and put that back in
Right.
because they see it. If they can't see it, it's hard to make those decisions. My husband was a technician for years, and he would say, if I could just show them or tell them. And this is exactly what video does. And so I, I would just encourage anybody who's been thinking about it, wondered, yes. And the other thing that we hear is, what about technicians? Technicians have always, always, always in our training, Mr. Bill, 100% of the time been the quickest to adopt. They see the value in it, they
Hmm.
understand it, and they want to show the customer the health of their car as well. And what we've seen is when you do that, customers become fans. They come back. They want that video. They want to see it. It also allows them the opportunity to share that video with maybe somebody who's a decision maker so that they're not having to relay the recommendations or understand it. So I think it's really educates the customer and really opens up again that relationship that and when you have a really great relationship there's great transparency, you're creating a great environment, a great experience, customers will come back. But what I love is when they come back, they don't come back by themselves. They bring their coworkers, they bring the rest of their family,
Right.
other car into your dealership. So the video technology component is vital, I would say, if you want to grow, especially in today's market and the way people buy everything, right? They want to see it. So it would really elevate a dealership to embrace that.
Yeah, the results that it brings about and the through transparency and trust with the vehicle owner really is remarkable. We've had as guests on the podcast just in the last in the recent few months, Zach Roberts, who's the service director at Manly Honda Hyundai
Mhm.
in Northern California, is a raving fan of video, and he uses True Video, which I know you work with. And we had
Mhm.
Joe Shaker on not too long ago as well, who obviously was the founder of True Video, and just really remarkable work being done there that I think is really can be transformative in terms of creating that a better customer experience and a stronger relationship between the dealership and the vehicle owner.
Absolutely. And again, I go back to a system or an idea, create videos, do this or do without an actual process is just a hope. When we started in 2018, we thought, great, this is going to be wonderful. We have the system, they're going to do it. And so we would say that we dabbled in videos, because they just don't make themselves. They don't take themselves, they don't
Yeah,
sell
sure.
themselves. So we had to do a process. And I think that that's with everything. And that sounds a little overwhelming, but that's where even here at MTN, we have that process, and it's simple, and the muscle memory takes over. And what you'll love is when you have a consistent video process, every customer, every single time, it brings an amount of peace to the drive. You know what the customers are looking at, you know exactly that they're going to expect and how they're going to view it. So you have to have a process with the technology that you use.
Well, that's fantastic, Patty. You've given us so much to think about today, and really appreciate you being on the podcast.
Oh, my pleasure.
If any of our listeners would like to get a hold of you, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Absolutely. They can just reach me by email. It's Patty, Patti, at trainwithmtn.com.
Super. We'll put that in the show notes as well.
Excellent.
So thank you again, Patty, for being with us. Really appreciate your time today.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. So good to see you.
You too. You've been listening to Retention Roadmap, Navigating Service Success for New Car Dealerships. Subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.